Hello. Anybody there? Okay, I'm gonna keep doing these. I did not give out enough notice. Sorry. I was on the golf course. Didn't think I'd get back in time. So here's live stream. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes. I'm gonna get my I have my stack of paperwork I gotta get through. So those who follow closely to Instagram, you will notice that the F-350 I've been driving this week, the beast of F-350. I'll talk about that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Yeah, I think I just need this. I don't need that either. Yes. That's be. Probably make this a short live stream since you all ain't showing up. That's all right. I keep doing it. All right. All this paperwork to get a car, like loan agreements and Monronis and trash. Yeah, I'm actually only a couple reviews behind. That's pretty good for me. That goes in my book. I was only 3 reviews behind. I think I'm more than that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta do a. I gotta write up a CRV, but there's CRV review on the videos. If the channels you haven't seen those. Oh, and if you guys are really astute, you will notice there was no mysterious Monday this week. I was sick. Sorry. There'll be one tomorrow. Pretty damn sure there'll be one tomorrow. Pretty damn sure. So let's see. I'm gonna do I got a Lexus NX review to do. I've been needing to do for like 6 months now. I got it stuck in some mud. I was with a Jeep club and got it buried in some mud. So that'll be a fun review. I have a GMC Canyon video that's coming out this week. I have the Ford F-350 Super Duty 2018. This is a dual rear wheel. Yeah, so dualies. 6.7 liter Power Stroke V8 diesel. Damn, the beast. It's a platinum with the FX4 package. Although my neighbor pointed a couple things out today that was kind of interesting. So these are things I didn't notice about the truck. And I'm going to assume you're going to watch this later, and I'm going to do the video review. 2 thoughts. First, the body colored matched bumpers and front and rear. If anybody out there have them? If you so, comment. If you don't see this live and you want to comment later, comment. The thought is they get really damaged in fields. Like you go through a field and you just get scratches all over the place in the bumpers. So I don't know about that one. Something to think about. They also have manual locking hubs in the front. Yeah, I haven't seen those since I had my 63 International. Manual locking hubs, which are nice because if you get stuck, you don't have to roll back and forth to lock the hubs. You just turn them. Although you have to get out when you're stuck, and that's always a nasty ordeal. Yeah, so don't do that. Oh, this is an adult program. This is whiskey. I drink whiskey. That's what it is. It's got the white platinum tricolor exterior. It's got the it's got the gooseneck hitch kit, the ball in the back, 410 rear end. It's set up for a 5th wheel hitch. I don't have the hitch. I have a 5th wheel hitch prep package, which is $500. Upfitter switches inside the cab, the power dual moonroof, the twin panel, all the bells and whistles, platinum, like I said, massaging seats. Ooh, massaging sheets. Yeah, it's $83,000 of goodness. 83 grand. So maybe you haven't noticed this on my Facebook. Oh, somebody has a question about. Yeah, all right. So Spark Guy wants to talk about the 62. So, all right, hold on, Spark Guy. I'm going to get to that. I know what you're talking about. I've actually seen a video on that. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to move the mic closer. My cool, like, 1960s mic. Anyways, I got an argument with the Dan Neal over at Wall Street Journal about the Ford's decision to kill cars. If you guys have seen that, they're going to kill everything except for the Mustang and like a hatchback, like a Focus hatchback coming from China. And we got in a big argument about it. And here's my contention is that It's a business decision. I don't know why I went dark. Business decision. So you get one of these Super Duties you sell for 83 grand. How many damn focuses and fusions you got to sell to eat that much profit? Quite a few. Quite a few. That's my contention. It's a business decision. Get off their asses. Okay, so Spark Guy says use boiled linseed oil instead of clear coating it. So I have seen that. And I got to say this again, hope you're still online, adult program. There's a really hot lady who does it on YouTube. She's got a great video. It's like, yeah, I was watching it for the clear coat. Not her at all. No. So yeah, so I thought about doing the boiled linseed oil, and I don't know. I haven't made a decision. So I talked with McGuire's. I actually talked with one of their, I don't know, PR guy extraordinaire, like really big product guy, and he put me in touch with PPG, and I didn't call PPG. Maybe I should have. I have their contact information, because the problem with clear coating is you have to scruff up the exterior, and you have to get a surface for the coat to adhere to. Boiled linseed oil, you don't really have to. You just kind of get. What's the deal? It was a. It's like not a peroxide, but there's a cleaning solution you put on the truck, and then you can wipe the linseed oil right on top of that. I forget what she used. But you basically spray it on, you wipe it off, and then you put the linseed oil on there. So yeah, so I agree. That linseed oil is a definite choice. I just don't know what I want to do yet. I don't know. Which is probably why it's been 3 years now, and I haven't done anything with it. Actually, this summer will be the third summer. Now, I did switch out engines one summer, so that was a long time thing. So, yeah, I can't really count that summer because I didn't drive for a while. So I don't know, Spark Guy. I'm gonna watch more videos. I haven't made a decision yet. I haven't decided what I want to do with clear coating. Oh, John's on the program. Hey, John, don't tell Jill about the whiskey. Deal? All right, so I just talked a little bit about that, but I will go back to that because it is a damn beast. So, this is my Monroney. That's what we call these Monroneys. I don't know if you ever knew that word. Diet whiskey. Yes, don't tell Jill. All right, so it's a 2018 model, 83,000. When I said earlier, 6.7 liter with a 6-speed auto transmission, all the bells and whistles. It is a beast, John. It is a beast. And what's really bizarre about it, and I'm going to say bizarre in a different kind of light, is that it's a dualies diesel 8-foot bed. Like, it's a long truck. And you take it for a drive, and it's really smooth, which isn't like typical. Sorry, I got to adjust that. I'm seeing this. I'm on the camera. It's not really typical of a heavy-duty truck, right? Usually, dualies, they bounce a lot in the rear end. They hop. And this is really smooth. I don't know if it's because the wheelbase is so long versus other ones I've driven. This is crew cab with the 8-foot bed. It's really funny to park. It doesn't really fit anywhere. There was a couple things. Like I said, my neighbor was over earlier today, and he was checking it out. Manual locking hubs in the front. I thought that was interesting. He said it was because when you get stuck, you got to rock back and forth to lock the hubs. And I guess every time I've locked hubs, I've just kind of stopped and locked them electronically. So I think that's interesting. I need to follow up on that. And then it's got the color coat front and rear bumpers. They're the same color. And so there's questions about why not just make them chrome, because the color will scratch off, especially driving through fields. Like if you're driving through a cornfield and you hit the corn stalks, you'll scrape that bumper. Interesting point of view. Like I said, I got to follow up the manual locking hubs. I'm not really sure about that one. I should add that to my questions. Like, why do they? In my 63 International had manual locking hubs. I don't know why this one's got manual locking hubs. It's interesting. I do have to say, Spark Guy may have left because I haven't seen the comment again. But thank you for asking about Swede. We had a good time. Went down to TFL, had an interview with those guys. I need to work on him some more. He keeps leaking oil, and it's kind of been like it was kind of okay from leak oil for a long time, but now it's kind of being like, stop, like it's enough, and I can't figure out where the oil is coming from, so it's kind of bugging me. All right, so that's the F-350, and In Houston, we give all big trucks permission to two parking spots. After Hurricane Harvey, there were the only one types of vehicles that make it through the high water. You know what? I did a story on what do they call those guys? Louisiana Navy. Oh, what's the name of those guys, John? You know this one. The Navy guy, like the Cajun Navy. The Cajun Navy. I talked to the guy who actually started that. There's an article on Truck Trend magazine about John said it, Cajun Navy. There's an article on Truck Trend with the guy that I interviewed, and I did a story. So there you go, the Cajun Navy. There's a good photo. I don't know if it's on my Facebook or the Instagram. There's too many social media channels these days. I parked the truck at Menards, and I parked in line. What's right? I went to church last night, and they actually fit in the church parking spot, which that's bizarre, right? Why would the truck fit in the church parking spot? I mean, the parking spots are wider at church. I mean, they're, I guess, pretty old school wide, but that was strange. Yeah, it doesn't fit. Like it, crew cab, 8-foot bed, dualies, don't fit. I will say, I'm gonna toot my own horn here. I had one curb check this week. One. Yeah, beat that. Thankfully, the towing mirrors that show me the back tires, because you turn, you're like, mirrors. No, actually, John, they weren't bus parking spots. All the church parking spots are exceedingly wide and long. It was like painted, I guess, back in the 60s when they had the big Lincolns and Cadillacs and such. I don't know. They just kept them the same. It's kind of bizarre. So that's the F-350. I have a video review coming up. I'm hoping to tow with it. Now, I've towed with this before, and so I'm not too worried about not towing with it. But I hear my cousin's got a fifth wheel with some farm equipment on it or gooseneck that can take. So I'm going to give him a call and maybe hook up with him tomorrow night and do some towing. I am getting, I guess a good segue. I'm getting a Yukon Denali XL. Yeah, I'm getting that Tuesday. They swap. And then I'm gone for 9 days. So I had no press runs for 9 days. I got to figure out how to do the live stream from Utah. All right, so I'm going to Nissan on not this Monday, the following Monday. I'll be in Nissan for the Habitat for Humanity golf tournament. They do a golf tournament. They're going to fly me in to play golf with them. And they're playing golf again on Tuesday. Rock on. And then I'm flying to Michigan. Turns out Toyota's working on another big project, I will say. It's under embargo. I can't tell you. But they're working on a bit of a big project. I'll be there with Toyota for a day and a half. Yeah, talking to engineers in Michigan at the Tech Center in Saline, which is really cool. I love going behind the scenes of Toyota. It's like literally take my phone and have to like give it to them because it's like entering secure space and make sure you check all your weapons at the door and no phones and nothing. I can record audio, but any photos I would take if I had my camera, they have to look at and they have to approve before I can leave with them out of the building. Typically, they put a bunch of stuff over the top of my phone, so I can't take photos. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I usually let my friend just take all the photos because it's just pain in the butt. But I always check in on Facebook before I go in, by like, oh, there'd be secrets in here. And it's so like lame. Like you think the Toyota Technical Center is like this really amazing like building with like all sorts of crazy stuff going on and like multi-screen engineers like working on trucks as you watch them work on it, and there's lots of stuff going on. And it's really lame. Like it's a bunch of cubicles. But what's cool with Toyota is they believe in an open office atmosphere. So the outer rim of the offices in like a cubicle setting, they're not offices, they're conference rooms. And all the cubicles are all together, but they're all half-wall cubicles. So you could sit there at your desk, look over, and you'll see the chief engineers of all different programs. And they're looking at the computer too, and they're all half level. So it really creates a lot of opportunity for conversation, more than anything else. But it's really cool to go downstairs to the they do have an engineering kind of mock-up kind of area. And so they don't really let me go into some places because they have future products in there. But the place I've been in, I was in one place where they had Million Mile Tundra at, and they were tearing that down. They let me go in, and they're breaking down all the competitors. So what's cool is you'll like see, let's say they're doing like a Vans. They'll have Odysseys and they'll have Pacificas and they'll have the Nissan one, whatever they call it. And they have all these vans, like all the competitors, and they're tearing them down. They're literally taking them apart piece by piece. And they have tape measures and they have cameras, and they're literally taking notes down to the millimeter of differences between the models. And so they can tell you like the rear cabin window size by millimeter, how much is different, and sound deadening. They can tell me specifically how thick sound deadening is, differences between each of the models of different vans or cars, whatever they're doing, down to the millimeter of what differences they are. Now, they can tell me that. I can't repeat that. It's not that it's public knowledge, but that's how far they go down. And they break these things down to that degree, and they can tell where companies are saving money and where they're spending money and how they think they can improve their products by focusing that difference. So it's fascinating stuff. I mean, they know all that kind of stuff. John asked another question. And John, thanks for being on the live stream. You've been like 2 weeks in a row. I'm gonna make some stuff tomorrow. Hats, and I need a golf towel and things like that. I'm gonna send you a hat when I get one because you've been a trooper. And I need to run this story. I was sick, and I actually had a couple stories to put out. I wrote the hydrogen fuel cell semi story this week. I wrote Nissan Salt Lake dealer this week, and I wrote the GMC all-terrain mountain concept this week. So I got busy with other stories. I need to put the story out. So there's a video going on right now that John talks about that has a video of the Ford testing the new Ranger Raptor. I think it is. I don't think it could be the Ranger only, but it could be it's usually the Ranger Raptor. I think they've been taking photos of and video of. And frankly, I think it's because they're trying to deflect away from the car conversation because they got their butts beat up over that one. So the Ranger Raptor's got some testing going on, and there are standard testing measures. So there are standard things that they need to do to have these vehicles pass certain things. Like there's standard tests around the track, to test around different places. And so there is standard testing, but there's other things they think about, and they'll do crazy testing. I did this and with the Tacoma. I was in Hawaii. I went down a wall of lava, right? So you did crowd control, and it took you down this lava rock wall down to the bottom, and it was freaky. I mean, it was like a roller coaster ride going down to the bottom, right? And so I got done, and I went to Toyota's chief engineers, and I was like, "Hey, man, that was crazy." He goes, "You think that's crazy? You should come to the proving grounds and see the stuff we actually think about," and we do. He goes, "We have you almost butt out of the seat going 85 degrees down a hill, and that's the stuff we're testing the Tacoma to." Yeah. So if you see the stuff on TV and videos that you think they're testing, and it's going to be like, "Oh, that's crazy," no, those guys are nuts. They got other stuff they're going on too. Okay, Legend BR. Hey, it's a Ford man. Looks like a Ford man. Is that a Ford logo? No, it is. Legend BR. Now, Legend. I was called a legend at one point, so you can't steal my nickname. Sorry if you left. The numbers keep changing. I'm not sure who's online. Talked about F-350 earlier. You should rewind or whatever you got to do. Play it back. It's good stuff. Yeah, so that's the stuff they do. Like whatever you think that the extreme is, they're doing that. They literally try to break their vehicles. Like that's their goal, is to break vehicles. And it cracks me up. It's like that's what they're trying to do, and then the consumer finds a way to do it. So, so good. If you actually go back in time and you remember that the Raptor had the cracked frame, the frame would snap because those guys were going off road and hitting jumps and like breaking it. What's crazy about that is Ford did a bunch of testing and they didn't find that. That's the bizarre thing, right? So last winter, no, the winter before, I had a Land Rover, and I shouldn't talk too negative about it, but anyways, I had this Land Rover LWB long wheelbase diesel, and I got a phone call. I was actually out of town in Omaha. I got a phone call and they wanted to know what I did to it. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I drove it's $100,000 SUV. I drove it around. I was really nice with that vehicle. $100,000, right? And they called me because they wanted to know what fuel I had because the diesel gelled up in it. And I'm going, right? So it's Western Nebraska in January. It was like 30 degrees overnight. Who cares? It's not that cold. The damn thing gelled up. Like, really? Yeah, and so I was on the phone and they actually took that and they towed that back to Michigan. They towed it back to Michigan, did some more testing on it. Why it gelled up. And I'm like, it's freaking Western Nebraska. Like, why would it gel up Western Nebraska? You guys tell me that you take it up the Arctic Circle and bury it in snow and it still doesn't gel up. That's what they tell me. So I'm always a little suspect, like a little bit sometimes too on testing, right? So I know they do some crazy stuff. I don't think everybody does the crazy stuff. And I think sometimes they tell you to do crazy stuff. They'll do marketing commercials about it. I don't think they always do it. And so it makes me wonder how I get a diesel like that gels up, like I said, in Western Nebraska. Oh, I should do this. There you go. There's my stories. I think what else I have for you guys. So I told you about the trips. I told you about the Denali I'm getting. I told you about the F-350. We talked about Swede. Swede's been sitting because I have the F-350 and I have the Yukon. I will be driving Swede to the airport, good 2 miles away, and parking him and driving back. I'm working on a couple stories about the ship, taking him to Denver. We had a great time, and I got a few outlets interested in stories. And I got photos, so I'm going to work on that. We talked about the car issue. I should write an opinion article about cars and Ford. I've been arguing a lot about it. I can just copy and paste my Facebook arguments. What else going on? That's about it. Doing stuff for Eckler's, planning different trips. Still working on Japan. No, not really getting anywhere with that. I have I'm looking over here because I'm old and I write out my list. So yeah. NB van. Still working on that one. I have it. I just need to do it. I have the video and everything. And not a lot of people commented on it, but if you watch the Nissan Frontier commercial, the Nissan Frontier review, let me know. Let me know about that one. Oh, all right, you really want to get into me talking about Ford accent cars? Because I create a lot of controversy. So if you guys don't know, Dan Neal is the guy at Wall Street Journal. And I sort of kind of called him out on his articles because he was attacking Ford unfairly. So nobody's buying cars, right? So a lot of discussion happening that Ford sold 200,000 Fusions last year. 200,000 people are like, well, how do you walk away from a market of 200,000 cars? Well, here's the deal. That was down 15% year over year. They sold 300,000. They sold 200,000. You're doing 15% less than that. They're going to be in the 100,000s. And you do a couple more years of that, they'll be less than 100,000 in cars. Nobody's selling cars. The Accord that won all the awards is not selling. The Camry is not selling, even though it's had like 4 freaking redesigns in like 7 years. Put that money in the Tundra. Thank you. Has not sold at all. They're putting cash in the hood like crazy to sell the Camry. Nobody's buying them. So here you go. Enter Hackett, right? Business guy. He's like, all right, I'm not selling cars, so I should sell more stuff I am focusing on, right? Trucks and SUVs are selling. Do you know when they started selling the Expedition, they redesigned it. And they got the Expedition out and the Navigator out. Those things sold like gangbusters. You know what the PR team was? Wow, our Navigator sales are through the roof. Oh my gosh, the Expedition sales are through the roof. Hello? The freaking Tahoe, Yukon, and Denali, or the Escalade, have had sales increases every year for the past couple of years, and they haven't been resigned that greatly. People are buying those SUVs. They're sick of the smaller cars. And so Ford's starting to click. Fields got fired for not developing more SUVs and trucks. He killed the Ranger. He tried to build electric cars, and he tried to build more cars and more autonomous, semi-autonomous cars. And whatever the hell he was doing with taking motorcycles to Africa to get medical care. That was such a weird thing. He gets fired. Hackett comes in. Hackett's like, let's sell more trucks and SUVs. Let's kill the cars. So you remember, let's talk about the timeline here. Cars were going to get moved from Michigan to Mexico, and they're going to bring in the heavy duties. They're going to make room for the Ranger, make room for the Bronco, and a smaller Bronco. They're actually going to build 2 different Broncos. So they're bringing to Michigan. Then they start thinking about how much cars are tanking, and the current political climate doesn't really do well with putting stuff in Mexico when NAFTA is up for agreement again. So they say, okay, well, let's go to China. Well, now there's some backlash. So they're like, all right, you know what? Fine. We can't go to NAFTA. We can't go to Mexico because you're going to screw with NAFTA. We can barely go to China because you're going to screw with imports with the was it Trans-Pacific TPA? What was it? Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, the trade pact. So Ford's like, fine, we'll kill cars. It's too much hassle to try to build a small car to compete with all these imports that don't have the same requirements, the same political climate. So kill cars. We'll make more money on trucks and SUVs. Boom, we're done. Fine. Dan Neal comes out and says they're walking away from the cafe. They're destroying pollution in this country, and they're an evil company. That's BS. I can see it right now. It's round, it's steamy, it's in that field. You know what that is? Cow dung. That's what we call that. Okay. So, sorry, had to go. No, whiskey's good. We had to go on the tangent. So, yes, Ford, GM, and FCA sat down and helped create CAFE during those Obama years. CAFE at that time was really staunch, really stringent. CAFE is corporate average fuel economy. It's based on the average fuel economy of your fleet of vehicles, and it's been around since the 1970s. So when the oil crisis happened in the 1970s, during wasn't Carter? Maybe it was. Whatever. They created that requirements to get cars to be more fuel efficient. So that happens every year since the 1970s. The EPA and NHTSA work together to craft rules around CAFE. And every year they try to make it, they walk a line here. So the line is they want better fuel economy for the consumers, but they don't want to kill automakers, right? So they don't want automakers spending billions of dollars in research. So they walk this line of trying to appease both groups and also appease consumers. People think that all consumers want is better fuel economy. That's all they want. That's all the big thing. Funny thing is, EV cars haven't increased in sales since they come out. They're a single percentile of all automakers. That's all they are. They're not a big seller. And so what you have is you have consumers who are buying big trucks and SUVs, which is hurting automakers because automakers can't meet their CAFE requirements because consumers are buying the wrong products. I said on his Facebook, I said, newsflash, all the people bitching about Ford not selling cars, go buy a damn Ford car. If you bought a Ford car, Ford wouldn't kill cars. That's what would happen. It's simple capitalism. If people bought a ton of Ford cars, they wouldn't kill cars. But guess what? Nobody's buying Ford cars. Now, you can argue all day that the Ford Taurus, the Fusion, the Focus are really old cars. And the reason they died was that Ford wouldn't update them. Fine. Argue that. If I'm Hackett, last thing I'm doing is put money in these damn cars that nobody's buying. Toyota did that. Toyota was like, we're going to re-engineerize the mid-sized car market by doing a new Camry. And we're going to put all this money into the Camry because people aren't buying them because the Camry is boring. And the mid-sized car market, actually, the Camry's not boring. Well, it kind of is. But the mid-sized car market is boring, and there's no cars in the mid-sized car market, and that's the problem. And they did that, and guess what? A gigantic turd happened. Nobody's buying the Camry. It's not about the Camry's boring. It's not about the Accord is boring. It's, would you want to crawl into a sedan for $20-some thousand and get 30 miles a gallon? Or would you crawl into a CUV for $4,000 a year, not a year, $4,000 for the vehicle and get about 27 miles per gallon? People are crawling into CUVs. all day long. They don't care about 40 miles a gallon. Nobody does. You look at the sales. So just look at the sales. The Bolt sold about 1,800 units last month. The F-Series sold 73,000 units last month. Was it 73? Yeah, it was absurd. It was a huge number. So if people only cared about fuel economy, they wouldn't buy the F-Series. They'd only buy the Bolt, but that's not happening. Well, here's a better example. The Tundra. I've owned a Tundra. Great truck. It sucks in fuel economy. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Sales were up like 20%. I'm gonna look it up right now. I don't post the sales numbers anymore because it's kind of it's kind of a boring news article. But my friends at pickuptrucks.com, which I still do stories for, very good contributor. They put up the sales numbers. And they're blasting GM right now for doing quarterly sales numbers. That's a problem. GM decided to do quarterly. Yeah, there you go. I had the number right. 73,000 F-Series sold last month, up 4%, and the Bolt sold 1,800 units. Not even damn close. So don't tell me that people, all they want is fuel economy. If everybody only wanted fuel economy, Tesla would be in a much better shape these days, wouldn't they? They're not. It just drives me nuts. And you talk to these journalists, and they all about fuel economy. It's freaking drive me nuts. All right, all about vehicles. Hey, buddy. All about vehicles. So, are you all about vehicles? Sorta. Want to be? That's a tough thing. That's why I got involved in trucks and SUVs. Because the automotive space is about this freaking wide, right? And so, if you do supercars, luxury cars, and basic cars, EV cars, compact cars, sports cars, mid-size trucks, full-size trucks, heavy-duty trucks, SUVs, small SUVs, large SUVs. It's damn tough. I applaud you because that's a lot of vehicles. I can't keep up. I can't. How many automakers are there? Take a guess. Well, with India too, right? So India's got a like Tata, weird all walls. 2025, probably in that range. Let's see, I don't know. You can count them all up. As far as brands, I mean, I know there's consolidation, but freaking VW Group has 7 brands on their side of it? Skoda and Skoda. I may not be saying that right. VW, BMW, Porsche. They own Lamborghini, don't they too? Yeah. So, anyways, keep up with them. That's a lot. So, what do you think all about vehicles? What do you think? Why is Ford killing cars? That's a conversation. That's a conversation people want to have. My uncle's mechanic categorizes them as SUVs, trucks, cars, subcompact sedans, mid-size sedans. Yeah, you got to put them all together groups because you can start talking like weird. Like, what the hell is a CUV? Anybody? Nobody knows. That's a damn marketing term. Nobody knows what a damn CUV is. I do SUVs and trucks. Ooh, Ford is stupid in stopping their cars. See, that's the other side. I just went on a tangent for like 10 minutes. You should watch the tangent. I say it's a good business decision. And I am leading a one-man charge on that. I'm the one journalist who says that. And I got in fights with them. The other thing, too, is that Ford is electrifying their products. Instead of electrifying cars, they're doing trucks and SUVs. So if you look at trucks and SUVs and you want to save pollution, that's the target. If you could cut pollution in the F-Series, you would dramatically change the environment faster than you can fusions. They do. So all right, all the vehicles. We're gonna go at it. So I'm telling you, get some whiskey or drink, get your keyboard ready. We're gonna hammer this out. This will be the most watched live stream anywhere. You can yell at me, argue with me, but I am drawing a line here. Ford and I have had maybe a rocky relationship in the past, but I am on their side on this one. So you don't know how Ford sold 210 units of Fusion, so I don't get it. Ford, 210,000 units. People keep talking about that. But let's look at the numbers. So let's look at Ford Fusion sales annually. And I'm going to pull this up on my. I got a new tab and a laptop. I want to make sure I'm fully accurate in my numbers. The Ford Authority guys have it, and I know Manuel over there, Kaniskas. I know his numbers are accurate. So Ford Fusion sales in 2017, they sold 209,000 units. In 2016, they sold 265,000 units. 2015, they sold 300,000 units. 2014, they sold 306,000 units. Do you see a trend? And this year over year, they're down 7,000 units year over year, all the way through 2018. So yeah, they going down. Accord's going down. Camry's going down. Kia's going down. Nobody is selling sedans. Nobody's buying cars. And yeah, they're keeping the Mustang. Here's the thing that we're talking about. So nobody said this yet. What happens to Lincoln? MKC? That's their car, right? The MKC is the Lincoln car. So they're talking about building the Mustang in a longer wheelbase to make the Lincoln MKZ. Sorry, MKZ. I'm so glad they get rid of the names. Give me a real name of a vehicle. So the MKZ, I think, is going to go away, and the Mustang platform is going to get stretched and become a four-door Lincoln, because that's the rage. The rage in automakers isn't about SUVs or CUVs or kind of crap like that. It's the using common parts throughout their lineup. So building one car multiple different ways and using the same parts. Yeah, you know what it stands for, right? Yeah, I know, Mark. And okay, that's crap. Again, there's a steaming pile. It's steaming. There's a field across the way, and it's cows are over there. The steaming pile of cow dung are the initials. And they just fired the Cadillac guy, whatever the guy's name, and he made a lot of initials for vehicles. It's crap too. Name your damn car. Get your marketing guys. Get those whiz kids to make some names. And I drove the Lincoln. I drove the no. I didn't drive the MKC. I drove the one that is the are you 15 or 16? Subaru does it without back Forester and Impreza. Yeah, it's on the same platform. That's how the people do it. I drove one of their SUVs. So you're 16 now. So you've aged a year in this live stream. Congrats. Happy birthday. I'm glad you aged a year. Yeah. So this is adult talk. It's not quite pillow talk. Anyways, if you're into cars, I don't care. Watch the podcast. Watch the podcast. Watch the live stream. I do a podcast too. I play a lot of golf. It's a thing. I drink a lot of whiskey. I drove that SUV thing. I thought it was fine. Here's the thing with Lincoln is that Lincoln is really a pretty damn good car. It really is. But they have no marketing behind their products. It's just terrible. You listen to podcasts. You listen to Jill and I on the podcast. Jill's been my special volunteer co-host for like a year and a half now. Jill's getting me skinny. These cheeks are gonna go in. I've dropped like 6 pounds. I have a lactose issue. That's what sucks getting old. You find these issues. Yeah, it's all lactose. I'm telling you. Hey, all about vehicles. What's the audio like? I'm working on the audio quite a bit. Is it good? Can you hear? Is it clear? That's my concern. This is a real fan. I'm excited. You own a Steel or it's clear? All right, good. No, I'm testing that one. So I get what's called press loans. So every week they drop a new vehicle off to my house, and then I drive it for the week, and then I do a review on it, talking about the podcast if it's exciting, and then I do reviews on it. So yeah, press vehicle. So I'm getting a Yukon Denali XL next, and then I'm off for a couple weeks because I'm going to be traveling. So I'm going to drive my 62 to the airport and park it, which is like 2 miles away. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I don't own them. I own Swede. Swede's the only one. I own Swede. And I own my other 3 Chevy C10s. But I owned a Tundra. I've owned S10s. I've owned everything except for Ford and Dodges or Rams, whatever model you want to talk about. But and we're all clear here. I talked about Uncle about this the other day. They quit making Dodge pickups like 2011, so they're not really Dodges anymore, right? We're all on the Ram train now, right? Yeah. So get different press vehicles. Let's see. I don't know what I'm getting. So there's 3 different press loan agencies in Denver, and I'm wrapping up my time with one of them, and I'm switching to the other one because I try to have 1 vehicle a week. If they had their way, I'd have 3 vehicles a week in my parking lot, in my driveway. And I got to tell you what, 3 vehicles a week is really hard to do good reviews on. So I try really hard to have 1 a week. But yeah, my uncle's a Toyota, Dodge, and Chevy guy. That is, well, throwing Ford, you got them all. Really, the F-450 has turbo issues? Is that a turbo diesel or gas? And all about, what's your first name? I don't want your last name. Just give me your first name. That's like I just can't. That's too many words. I'm Tim. Just say Tim. Just say, hey, you guy drinking whiskey, shut up and tell me your name. I don't know. The F-450 is hilarious because they consider that the same class as the 1-ton, the F-350. So they claim max towing in that category because it's the F-450. That's bullshit. That's bull. Keenan. All right, Keenan. Let's just go with Keenan. So Keenan, we should do this. Mark does them. Where are you out of, Keenan? What's your what part of the country? Now that I'm curious. I'm a damn journalist. I'm curious about all that stuff. And John, where are you out of? I forget. Canada. No kidding. Do you know, Keenan, that you have a whole assortment of Canadian truck journalists? Oh, we have a Texas and a Canadian. This is awesome. You have this whole group of Canadian truck journalists. Do you know that? Yeah. What are their names? I can't remember their names. I love sitting with these guys. So we do press events. So at the Ford F-150 diesel drive, we were there, and they did American waves. They did a Canadian wave, and they did Canadian kind of mix of Americans a little bit. They did the American wave afterwards. The Canadian journalists come in Elmer's. Stephen Elmer is a Canadian truck journalist. Works for AutoGuide. AutoGuide is actually in Canada, and so is T-Tac, my nemesis. T-Tac's fine. Howard Elmer and Stephen Elmer are with AutoGuide. Yeah. Great guys. The Canadian journalists are great. They have a whole different perspective on things because the trucks they get are a little bit different. And so different things. People were there. All right. So they had, I think they had 4 waves at the F-150 drive, and each wave was 30 people, maybe 20, 25, 30 people. Uncle's F-150 Limited was featured. Yeah. On offroad.com. They just lost their guy, Josh. Josh Burns is now with Toyota. He was the previous editor. Josh and I now have to work together in email. We talk quite a bit. I'm doing some stuff with Toyota next week. One of the things I'm doing, I can't tell you one of the things, but the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to ride shotgun with the chief engineer now for the Tacoma, and we're going to do some off-roading, hopefully in new TRD Pro. Western Nebraska. I'm out here in the country. Literally the country. I could show you. Want to see? Pretty exciting. There's the country. Yeah, so I'm in a cul-de-sac. Not a cul-de-sac, but I'm in a residential area. And then across the street, the guy grows alfalfa, and then in the summer or the wintertime, he lets horses out, and the horses eat the leftover crop. So yeah. Which puts me in a unique spot. So here's some geographical stuff for you. I'm 3.5 hours from my house to Denver, and then I'm 3 hours to Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. And so I'm actually 20 minutes from Wyoming. If you look at the series, I need to do some more. I'm way behind, but there's a classic Chevy series. That farm that I'm at is in Wyoming. It's our family farm. It's 20 miles away. I'll be there Thursday. I get to work on a truck Thursday. Is my day this week. And then I'll be in South Dakota in June doing a big Mopar auction. So I spent a lot of time in South Dakota, Wyoming, here. I drove the Montana last fall, went some fly fishing with Key up on the Lower Madison. That's fantastic. Great time. And I'm in Denver quite a bit because it's pretty close for events. So the F-155 drive was in Denver. I drove Swede down there. Don't try Thunder Dude when you drive the TRT Pro. Yeah. Thunder Dude, I like Mark, but he's totally jealous of me, I think, sometimes. My goal is to ride shotgun with the new engineer and get his viewpoint on the truck while we're driving it. That's my goal. Now, will that happen? It's a tough thing because you got calendars, you're trying to orchestrate stuff, and these guys are really busy, and so it's hard to get all the ducks in a row. But because the new TRD Pros came out in Chicago, and there's been really no press about them. If you look around, nobody's covering them at all. And so, what if this is closer? Doesn't seem like it changes. It seems like it doesn't seem like it's picking up my audio from this. There's a setting. Is it better if I go closer? Do you guys hear me better? I don't know. Should I move the thing better? There's a button for the mic here? Sorry, I don't know how this all. Oh, that's muted. It's not muted. All right, I can move it. I'll move you guys closer to my mic. It only shows like one bubble when I talk. Unless I talk up louder, I could scream at the mic, and it doesn't get anything. I don't know. So I'm trying, guys. I have an external mic, but I don't know why the Facebook Live does its thing. I'm a little bit confused on how this all works. Uncle drives a Toyota now. It's about a Chevy and Dodge in the near future. He changes his fleet. Changes his fleet over 6 months. That's hilarious. I change my fleet about once a week. I get something different on average. Sometimes I go some weeks without things, but that's model year changeovers and stuff. But I drive my truck instead. It's fun. I like Swede. He's a good time. I don't really worry about it. I've driven so many new cars that it's okay to get a break every once in a while. Every once in a while, I want a break to get caught up on reviews, get caught up my to-do list, so I'm like back to even. There was a time that I was like 9 to 10 reviews behind deep, and I had notes, right? I had notes, and I would sit down and do them, but it's tough. It's a crappy thing to bitch about, but you do get behind. There are no loans and anything. So he pays cash for all his new vehicles in his fleet? Wow. Okay. Well, if you get a system going, I guess it makes sense, but depreciation off the lot would lead you to believe that, okay. My uncle was a billionaire. Okay. Yeah. So, he pays his money. I don't know. My grandfather's a millionaire, and he barely drives anything new. He just likes his old stuff. Hey, oh, damn it. We had 3 people watching. Oh, we lost them. We have 2 now. We had 3. All right, but here's the deal. I tend to believe it's going to take me a long time to get a live stream following like Mark does or Thunder Dude or any of the other guys. So I'll keep doing it. I'll be in Utah. Let's see. Next Sunday's Mother's Day. And I think the wife will let me have an hour. And the following Sunday, I'll be in Utah. And then I'll be home. And then June. I haven't planned out June. I think I'm going to go to Michigan again. I'll be in Washington, D.C. area-ish. Virginia. Not really sure. I'll be back in Denver. I just found out I have to cancel that. I have to make that trip be a little day shorter to be back in Denver. July is usually really slow, but July my books do, so You'll be looking at me with grease on my fingers and nasty, all cut up marks and get my book ready. In August. We should have new Silverado coming out in August. New Silverado should be first drive in August. Sierra should be first drive in August. Ram, whenever they get their beep together, should have the e-torque drive. The rumor on the street is the EPA hasn't certified their e-torque V8 and V6 fuel economy numbers. Or they haven't certified it to, I guess, build it or something. Let's see, because Ram just sued the EPA and they got in a big fight over that. So I can't imagine why things are slow. The new Ram heavy duties are coming out this fall. Should probably be unveiled in January. Chevy's doing the new heavy duties too. So Sierra, e-torque doesn't seem like it's too much for okay. Sorry, John. John's talking questions. Here we go. John's talking about the crossover rodeo. Yeah, that thing's kind of fun. My friend Philip has put this crossover rodeo kind of thing together. That's the middle of June, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I figured I have to be in Denver on 23rd for a nonprofit event, so I got to cut that short by day. I'll probably take a red eye or something out of DC that night. That's in June. You typically every year FCA does a What's New event in their proving grounds in Chelsea that third week of June. So I'm kind of waiting to see if they'll fly me out for that, and I can fly to Virginia, and then I'll pay my way to fly back to Denver and get a car and drive home. I don't know. that e-torque could be something, John. That could be something. I'm curious to see what the numbers are. That's a mild hybrid system. That could be something. It's a 2019 Ram 1500. So you got the brand new Ram. Because the 2019's out. So he must have got. No, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Kenya, does he have what trim and cab does he have with that new Ram 1500? And he owns a 2018, 2019 Jeep Cherokee, 2018 Chrysler Pacifica, and 2019. Jesus criminy. Guy's got $1 billion in cars. Laramie Limited, how many crew cab? Yeah, because Ram is only building their limited. They're Laramie Limited. Ram is only building their higher trim levels with crew cabs. That's all they got. They're going to build right now because that's all the capacity they have. You know, having model name sounds like the hybrids Chevrolet would put on their Tahoes and Suburbans. It's actually the same damn thing, John. It's really the same thing. And that mild hybrid is that's the same that's in the Malibu, right? I think it's the same in the Malibu. And they offer that it's e-assist. And Chevy and GMC this last year made it offering national. It's a national offering now. It used to be just California, I believe. And it's a national offering for that e-assist system. And so now you can get that. Keep moving this closer, sorry. If I have any zits or something, you can deal with it. It's offered nationally. So if you want to argue points, bragging rights, Chevy and GMC had a mild hybrid long before Ford did. The e-assist in Canada. Yeah, I think you can get that. I think it's everywhere now. They tried it in California and I don't know if they sold it. I'm going to try. Ken. I'm trying, buddy. I'm going to call you K. Hey, K. K. I'm not so great with pronunciation. As you can tell the podcast. What's Jill hammering about? Jaguar? Jaguar? Oh, and it's randomly raining outside. Sorry. What else she yelled at me about? Hyundai like Sunday. Hyundai. I say it wrong all the time. I try really hard. I'm not good at that stuff. I had speech class when I was in second grade. I'm still struggling with that. It's crazy. The sun's out. I can see the sun. It's blue skies and it's raining. No, it's Sunday. Did you listen to the podcast? Jill says all the time, Hyundai is like Sunday and Hyundai. Maybe you're right. You made this joke. I actually like that joke. You got me there. You got me. You got me thinking about that. It could be that joke. And did anybody figure out what how hell a door wall is? Jill says such thing as a door wall exists. I don't know what a door wall is. No idea. I know. Nobody knows. There you go. If you're watching this live stream and you didn't catch the first time, you rewind it, answer it. What the hell is a door wall? Door wall. I'm going to write that down. 46. I'm 40. 40. 40. Okay. Get it right. 40. Door wall. We're going to make Jill tell us what the hell a door wall is. Yeah, I'm 40. 77. Born in 77. Door wall. Jill. I'm making a big note about it. I'm underlining it. I am circling it. I put an exclamation point next to it. It's all about that. Father 40. Yeah, makes sense. If you're 16, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Math is not my strong suit. Your dad was 38 when he had you. 38. My kid is so Cody is 6, Tyler's 8. So 6 minus 40. I was 34. That's not bad. Yeah. My daughter, I had my daughter when I was 20. I didn't know how I was doing. It was good, but that's how it was. And then I've had my kids when I was 30. Mother was How many kids do you have, Kay? Kenya? Kenya? You said you're the oldest. How many siblings? This is like a Kay and Tim hour. Kay and Tim hour presented by Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Tune in now. Is he really? That's impressive. Come on, how many do you have? You have yourself, a brother and sister, so you have 3? Type faster. I'm all intrigued. I'm such a damn journalist. All I do is think about this stuff. I hate this. That's why I'm gonna go watch TV in a little bit. 16. My twin brother. Okay, so you're fine. So you're 16. What do you drive? Do you have a license? Do you want to have a license? My daughter got her license when she was 18. Did not care. Ooh, wait. Stop the phone. We have 3 viewers now. Washing the dog. Really? Grab a hose for my damn dog. Thank God. You got a license first day you could. When I was 16, I got my license the first day. I had $100. I drove a van. We had a minivan, Astro minivan. Spent $100 over the weekend. Monday morning, had a job at McDonald's to get more money because I wanted to go out and party. Yeah. All right. Wait. All right. Time out. 2 things. 1, it's 59 minutes. I promised you an hour, 59 minutes. 2, we have a problem. I wanted to have a drink of diet whiskey. Thanks, John. That's a good idea. And hour's up. Oh. Email me, tim@pickuptrucktalk.com. You want to talk off the air. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Find me, follow me, friend me. I don't really care what you do. We're all out there. Pickup Truck Plus SUV, Pickup Truck and SUV, whatever. Follow me if you're interested in what's behind the scenes. If you're interested in my to-do list, we'll tell you. I have story ideas. I'm trying to follow up on, print more stuff. There'll be stuff in the magazines. 4-wheelers got my some story coming up soon. I hope. Truck Trend should have some stuff coming up soon. He's thinking like 8 stories. Lots of good stuff. So yeah. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, John. And we'll see you down the road.